Somebody I met who was a stranger to me about a half an hour ago had a great story, and I made him promise to share it about your barista. Tell him why you came here today.
Yeah, well, about 4 years ago, a coffee shop around town popped up, and every morning, almost literally every morning, I would pop in there and get my cup of coffee. And here I am 4 years later, and I don't know if we're consequential strangers anymore, but it's certainly a place that just breathes that kind of atmosphere.
I have a whole chapter in here on place,
and it's really,
by the way. Yeah.
it's amazing how it's really brought the whole community together, because there's at least a dozen people that I would have never, ever come into contact with.
Right.
But through that one place.
Yeah, I have a whole chapter. It's called The Power of Place. No, it's called Being Spaces. It's about the power of place. And being spaces, that's a term I found on the internet. And the guy who coined it was talking about places like, Barnes and Noble put coffee. I shouldn't say Barnes and Noble. I've got my foot in my mouth. I might as well continue. They put coffee, Starbucks in Barnes and Noble. Why? Because they want you to hang out longer. And so there's been a big trend in commercial places to the linger longer effect. Supermarkets are putting in cafes, and they want you to hang out. And Starbucks was actually really the kind of the quintessential being space, because they were the first place to forego, the harsh fluorescent lighting, and put in comfortable chairs and allow people to linger. Not like McDonald's where there's plastic chairs and they go next. And they trained their people to have a relationship, or try to have a relationship with the customer, and to smile. And and so often we go into those places and we're so jaded, I think, that, we see the name tag, and we need to use the name tags and, make the first move. It's people say to me, well, you have to be an extrovert like you are. And that's not true. This is not about networking. This is not about being an extrovert. It's just about taking an extra time. It's common courtesy. I mean, so much has been said, and especially up here, about community and how important it is. And, we're all lucky because we do live in a place where, for the most part, people are friendly. But it's up to each of us to kind of take that first step. And we're all in such a rush, but it doesn't really take that much time to... And I know it's changed me. I do comment on people. I'll say to somebody, I like that hat, and you it's amazing what that does. You watch this other person, they beam, and then all of a sudden you feel good, and it took nothing to do it. It really took nothing. So I suggested to this gentleman here that he give his barista this book for Christmas. There are all these groups around the country that are trying to bring back small stores and being spaces, and create places where people can sit outside, because it's not just the stores, it's the towns themselves. Benches in New York, they've just closed off the Highline Park, but they've also just closed off. I walked down Broadway last week, and there are beach chairs sitting in the middle of, they're lounge chairs, but they're, the aluminum chairs, and people are sitting in them, and they're schmoozing, and it's wonderful. So I think there's a movement back, and I'm hoping that this book will help promote that.